What's going on, guys? Welcome back to Marky Picks. And today we got another special video here. We got another collab here for you because I'm being joined once again by at DeShawn to Raw, host of the Belt to the Books YouTube channel. And we're breaking down every single college football conference championship game that's happening this weekend for Friday and Saturday. We're talking the matchups, breakdowns, predictions, all of it. DeShawn, how was your Thanksgiving weekend? And how did your college football rivalry weekend turn out for you?
Well, Thanksgiving weekend was very, very good. In terms of the games, not so much. Purdue and Stanford absolutely got annihilated. So that's okay. But, we did have some winners in there. California, Minnesota, BYU ended up coming back, stomping out UCF. So we had a little bit of wins, but the main money makers did not get it done. So hopefully we can bounce back for conference championship week.
For sure, we got some absolutely, fire games here stacked up for conference championship here this weekend. So, but before we jump into the games, I've got a big announcement that I've been teasing the last day or so, and it's finally time to reveal it. I will be hosting the Marky Picks ESPN Capital One Bowl Mania Pick'em Group. Now, for those of you who don't know what that is, it's a free-to-play game on the ESPN website where you pick the winners of like every college football bowl game. That's it, really. You just pick all the games, rack up the correct choices, and climb the leaderboards. It's simple as that. And here is where it gets good because we're doing a giveaway for the top finishers in the group. First place, the champion of the Marky Picks group will receive full NBA access to the Marky Picks NBA player projections model for the rest of the 2025 NBA season. Yes, that's right. Full unlimited access to every player projection, every game for every slate. The exact projections I personally use to make all my picks in the YouTube videos. It's absolutely game changing. You guys are going to want to get your hands on that. But I'm not stopping there. Second and third place, you also get access to the model, but you'll get 50 player projections for per NBA slate. Still a ton of valuable data there. Fourth and fifth place, you'll get access to, but with 20 player projections per slate. So, yeah, there's a lot to play for here. You guys are going to want to get in this group and rack up those correct choices and unlock these predictions and projections. So, if you want a chance to win, join the Marky Picks Bowl Pick'em group. The link will be in the description and also posted in the Discord. A quick note here, neither me nor DeShawn will count as contestants. We'll be in the group just for fun. But if either of us finishes, top five, or our spot gets, our spot will get skipped in the line. So, like, if me and DeShawn finish in the top five, we'll just go to the next person in line, and you'll get the next reward there. So, yeah, the link will be down in the description below. The bowl games get announced this Sunday once the college football playoff bracket drops. So, you have about 2 weeks before the bowl season officially kicks off, but with that said, we're going to go ahead and jump right into the college football championship games for this weekend. So let's go ahead and jump into the first game up here. We got Kennesaw State taking on Jacksonville State. Kennesaw State minus 2.5-point favorites, 59.5-point total. Conference USA championship game here on the Friday night, 7 p.m. Eastern. DeShawn, I'll let you get this one started.
Yeah, so Kennesaw State, for one, what a hell of a year for them. Man, this team was dirt, and now it's like they've absolutely blossomed. Like, what a turnaround for that school and for that program. Jacksonville State, I think they were good last year as well, along with Liberty. So, like I said, this is nothing new for them. But, in terms of this game right here, why not just lean Kennesaw State? Again, I'm just going to ride high with the Owls. And, I think, this is their year to really do something special, win the conference. And, they'll probably get a decent bowl game, honestly. If they'll probably get mollywopped, honestly, and whoever they play. But, I think this will be a nice fitting end to their conference USA bid right here. So yeah, I'd lean Kennesaw State minus the 2.5. Like I said, I'm just riding high on the better team right now. Kennesaw State has been on an absolute heater, and so I don't think it stops. So I think it keeps going.
Yeah, I'm gonna have a lot to say about this game. Kennesaw State, it's their second year in the FBS. Last year it was their first year in FBS as they're transitioning from the FCS to the FBS. So this is their first, like real full season in the FBS because they're eligible for bowl games, eligible for the conference championship, like they weren't last year. So, and they've had a hell of a season. I'm Amari Odom, the quarterback for Kennesaw State. He's a stud. He's an absolute stud. They also have a very good wide receiver in Gabriel Benyard. He's a very good deep threat. They've been really just tearing up teams all season long. So they're one heck of a duo there, quarterback, wide receiver. And on the other side of this game, Jacksonville State, they got a guy, Kalen Creel, who is an absolute dual threat quarterback. This guy is an absolute machine. He gets huge rushing games. He can pass the ball as well, but he's really going to do most of his work on the ground. He's had several games this year where he's had over 100 rushing yards. So he's a heck of a guy in the rushing game. But the main attraction on this Jacksonville State roster is Cam Cook. He's running back for Jacksonville State. This dude's a stud, absolute stud. I think he's the best running back in the mid-major level because you just go through his game logs. He's gotten 100 rushing yards in like every game this year except for 2. He had a 218 rushing yard game in one game. This guy's an absolute beast in the backfield. And, Jacksonville State's going to be at home for this game. And these two teams actually did just play each other a couple weeks ago. Jacksonville State was able to win that game 35-26. I think that's going to be a similar type of game situation in this game. Getting Jacksonville State as underdogs in this game, man, I trust their defense more. I like their defense better than Kennesaw State's defense because Kennesaw State's defense has been getting absolutely shredded by a lot of teams as well. Jacksonville State has a more, balanced type of team. I just think they're going to be able to come out here and spoil Kennesaw State's miracle season, really. My projection for this game, going through my projections here, I have Jacksonville State winning 35-31. So you can take the over here, I think over 59.5. I mean, given that these two teams did just play a couple weeks ago in a pretty, competitive game. I mean, Jacksonville State's underdogs here. I just really think they're going to come out here and have a very strong game here at home in the Conference USA Championship game. So that's the first Conference Championship game up on this slate. Let's go ahead and move on to the next one. We got the Sun Belt Championship here. Troy taking on JMU. JMU is 23.5-point favorites, 47.5-point total. 7 p.m. EST here Friday nights. Man, excuse me. JMU. I mean, just give me JMU all day here. I mean, I don't really have much to say. Excuse me, DeShawn, you can take it around.
Yeah, so it's the same thing right here for me. JMU all day. They're just putting belt ass to everybody that they're playing. Except for, Washington State and Louisville. And honestly, I think they really should have beaten Louisville, honestly, to which JMU probably would have been even more of a lock for the college football playoff and as the group of five contender. But for this game right here, yeah, I think they annihilate Troy here. They don't play no games with them. And give me the over, too. Give me the over 47.5. I think James Madison can definitely put points up on the board here, as they've done all season. And, I think that total is honestly too low. So I can see JMU easily covering this 23.5. And would JMU put up 50? Would JMU put up 50? I think they can. I really do because their offense is just that good. Their quarterback's very, very good. Yeah, I'm a lay it with JMU minus 23.5, and go ahead and give me the over. I think JMU can easily hit the 40s in this game.
Well, I might have to backtrack what I said because For my projections here, I have JMU winning 36-16 in this game. Now Troy, um, they have their quarterback is Goose Crowder right now. He actually started the season for him like the first like 2 or 3 games before he got hurt. He just recently came back over the last couple of games, and they have been winning those games that he came back in. So I think Troy can definitely cover 23.5 at least. Um, I think the over 47.5 is kind of intriguing here. I do think that Troy is going to be able to score some points in this game. But JMU does have a strong defense, so it's kind of going to be an interesting game. But I actually do think Troy can cover 23.5. Maybe JMU gets a little bit looking ahead a little bit. Maybe they're expecting a playoff berth with the craziness of the ACC that's going on. They could get in to the playoffs. We'll get to that later on in the video. But yeah, I think Troy with Goose Crowder back there, I think he's able to make enough plays to cover his spread. Alonzo Barnett, he is a really good quarterback though for JMU. I mean, I think JMU is easily able to win this game, but 23.5 just feels like a lot of points. I'd actually probably like the over 47.5 because I think JMU could actually get there close to them on their own. So yeah, over 47.5. I like that pick here for the Sun Belt Championship game. So let's go ahead and move on to the next game up here. It's the American Championship. Man, this is going to be a must-watch game. This will be a lot of fun to watch. North Texas taking on number 24 Tulane. North Texas is 2.5-point favorites, 66.5-point total. Man, my projections for this game are spot on, really. In terms of the total, I have North Texas winning 37-30. I just love North Texas right now. Yeah, I mean, there's really nothing else to say. North Texas offense is absolutely amazing, like number one offense rated in the country. So they put a tons of points. Drew Mestamaker, Caleb Douglas, nice 1-2 punch in the backfield. Got great wide receivers. Tulane, they haven't been looking strong as of late. So North Texas has been blowing out their opponents recently. Tulane, they've been kind of playing down their competition. So I like North Texas to come out here on the road and put up a good showing here against Tulane. DeShawn, what do you have?
Yeah, I'm really in love with this North Texas team as well. Drew Mestamaker is he's really good. We'll just put it lightly like that. And honestly, I would be surprised if he doesn't follow his head coach to Oklahoma State. And honestly, I think he will. So, and Tulane, like I said, I like Tulane. Tulane's a good team. I love their quarterback and Jake Retzlaff. I love his dual threat ability, but like you said, Tulane just plays down to their competition so much. You've even had their head coach come out and be like, we're not like a top 30 team right now. Like they get penalized a lot, which is just not good football. It just shows that they're undisciplined. But I'm looking at the total right now, and in these North Texas games, they're high scoring shootouts. Not all of them, because usually North Texas is blowing the doors off of their opponents, but they're still high scoring, and North Texas will give up points. They will. So will Tulane. So I'd honestly take the over. I think both of these teams can get in the 30s. I think it'll be a relatively close game. I like North Texas's offense. It kind of reminds me of like a slow RPO/slow mesh offense, kind of something similar of what I can't remember the quarterback's name, who was the quarterback for Wake Forest and then was also the quarterback for Notre Dame. He plays for Washington. I can't think of his name right now, but they kind of ran something similar as those two offenses right there. And it's weird, but like it just works. It works a lot. So yeah, I like the over 66.5. If I had to pick a side, I'd have to go with North Texas. They're just playing the better football right now. And I think they're hot at the right moments. And like I said, Tulane, they're just gonna have to show me. They just got to show me that they're disciplined and that they can actually play up to their competition right here. Because if they do win this game, they can't mess around. They can't, or they're gonna get blown out in the first round. They just can't do it. So but I don't think they make it that far. I think it ends here for Tulane. So, yeah, give me North Texas in the 2.5.
Yeah, North Texas has been one of my favorite teams to watch at the mid-major level this year, and for good reason. I think if they get into the playoffs, their offense is good enough to score on really anybody. I mean, they've been scoring on everybody they played against. So I think, yeah, they're probably going to lose in the playoff game, but I don't think it'll be a blowout like some of the games we got last year, like Penn State, SMU. I think they're going to put up a better showing in the playoffs than last year's group of 5 teams like Boise State. I think North Texas is that good offensively to really score. So, I mean, that's what they're going to have to do anyway. It's going to start here. They can get on a heater here, take out Tulane. Yeah, I think North Texas minus 2.5 is a very good play here for the American Championship. It's going to be a must-watch game. There should be a lot of points to be scored because both these defenses have been getting scored on a lot this year. So, yeah, give me North Texas here on the road to go into Tulane and get into the playoffs. So, that's the American Championship game. Let's go ahead and move on to the next one up here. Mountain West Championship. UNLV taking on Boise State. Boise State's 3.5-point favorites. 58.5-point total. 8 p.m. EST Friday night. And there's going to be interesting speculation around this game because Boise State, Maddox Matson, their quarterback, he might not play in this game. He's missed the last 3 weeks with an injury. I believe they had Cutfort as their backup quarterback for the last 3 games. I think Maddox Matson does end up playing in this game because I think he could have played last week's game. I'm not sure, but yeah, I just think this is a spot here. UNLV, they have tons of studs on that offense. Anthony Calandria, former UVA quarterback, playing really well here at UNLV with this system. Jet Thomas, the running back, absolute playmaker back there. He makes some big plays. Jane Bradley on the outside with Trey Omier. They got some weapons on this UNLV offense that are just going to make things really tough on this Boise State defense. But this game is truly a pick'em game. It really is, according to my projections. I have this being a 28-27 UNLV win here. So it's tight on the projection side of things. So, I mean, you're playing at Boise State, though. It's a tough place to play at night. I think these two teams actually did just play last year. So it's actually a rematch of the Mountain West Championship game from last year, which UNLV, they had played them tough for like a quarter last year, and they just didn't have enough last year. I think the roles are reversed here. Boise State, they lost a lot from that team last year. And UNLV, they got a whole another like roster overall. I think they're a much better team than they were last year, at least offensively. If their defense can play here, I think UNLV is able to pull off the upset here on the road here in Boise here on the blue field. So give me UNLV to win this game outright or cover 3.5, whatever you prefer here. DeShawn, what do you have?
Yeah, I'm looking the same way. I like UNLV in the 3.5. I like that, you can get it over a field goal. So that's good for me. The main thing for me in this game is, I like UNLV's offense a lot. They have a lot of weapons. They can really stretch the field. Calandria, dual threat. He can run and throw the ball. He can extend plays. And that, that's also going to lead me to, an over in this game. I do like the over 58.5. UNLV's defense is bad. It's as simple as that. UNLV's defense is not good. I do think that UNLV will definitely give up points here. And UNLV will be able to score points on Boise State's defense because UNLV's offense is that good. I mean, that's pretty much the story of the season. If UNLV had a better defense, they would be really, really good, like potentially undefeated. But their defense is just really, really bad. So with that, yeah, definitely lean to over 58.5. It's going to be a tough out for UNLV, especially on the blue field. And like I said, it's a night game. But I think this game ends up being a really, really close game. I do think this game can end up being a shootout, honestly. So, yeah, I'll take UNLV in the 3.5, and I'll also take the over.
Yeah, just pay attention to the quarterback news for this game because if Maddox Matson doesn't play, I'm gonna love UNLV even more. If Maddox Matson does play, I'm definitely gonna take the over 58.5. I just plugged in my projections with Maddox Matson being in the game because I have him actually being out for this game. But with Maddox Matson in the game, I got this being a 32-31 score. So that's going to up the pace, definitely. So I expect this line to actually move if that gets confirmed, because I don't know if it's been confirmed yet. All right, time of recording. So, yeah, just pay attention to the injury news here. As of right now, give me UNLV plus 3.5 or the money line. I think that's a great play there for the Mountain West Championship game. Should also be a very fun game to watch here on Friday night. So now let's go ahead and move on to the next one. Here we go. Saturday, Big 12 Championship game, number 11, BYU taking on number 5, Texas Tech. This game's being played at AT&T Stadium in Arlington, Texas. Texas Tech, once again, is favored by 12.5 points, total 50.5, 12 p.m. EST. So these two teams just played a few weeks ago. It was the big game of the week in Lubbock, Texas. Yeah, I believe they were also favored in that game, but I believe the same amount of spread. It might be like 14.5. I don't know, DeShawn. Do you remember what that spread was last a couple weeks ago?
I think it might have been the exact same.
Yeah, I feel like it might have been 12.5. It might have jumped to like 14.5 closer to kickoff, but I could have sworn that the line was the same 12.5. So they're pricing it once again at 12.5. And I just feel like this is a spot to take BYU. I mean, BYU was going to learn a lot from that game. I mean, that was just not a great situation for them in that game. You're playing in hostile Texas. Fans are going crazy. Yes, this game is also being played in Texas, but I feel like neutral site here isn't going to be as chaotic as the home game was. You're going to have a lot more BYU fans there, I would expect. And yeah, that game, they just didn't have anything going for them. They were just really just not locked in. I just didn't like that situation. This is basically the same situation, but it's a neutral site, and the championship's on the line here with the playoff berth on the line. So, yeah, with that being said, now I will say this. There is some coaching rumors going on right now. BYU's head coach, Kalani Sitake, has been linked to the Penn State job. He's been one of the top candidates. That's going to be an interesting fit. I don't know how that would fit because he's not really a Pennsylvania guy. He's kind of like a Western guy. So I don't know how that would fit with Penn State, but in terms of things, I don't hate the guy. I think he can actually make Penn State pretty solid. But I just don't know about the recruiting, how well he would do in that aspect, just being from a different location. But he's really been building up this BYU program really strong over the last few years. This has been a program that has been just really playing like some of the most consistent football out of like any FBS program out there. He's built a consistent, winning team. We'll see if he can get it done here with BYU here in this championship game. I don't think BYU's able to get it done here with the win because this Texas Tech team is just absolutely loaded here. Man, they're just playing some of the best football right now. But I mean, 12.5 points. I think BYU can play pretty good here. My projection for this game, I have Texas Tech winning 31-19. So it's right on the 12 thread. Right on the 12 thread. It's also right on the 50 total. So my projection's right on line here. I don't know if I have a strong lean on which one I'd actually be personally betting. But if I had to take one, give me BYU plus 12.5. I think they play a lot better than they did a few weeks ago. Make a lot more changes and play pretty competitively. But I do think Texas Tech pulls it out here in the Big 12 championship game. DeShawn, what do you have?
Yeah, I'm on BYU as well. It's hard to beat a team twice in the same season. Very, very tough. Like I said, this game's neutral site. This game is not in Lubbock with those Ruckus fans and stuff like that. In the Dallas Stadium, it's going to be indoor. So very, very good for them. I just think that BYU, like you said, can really, really learn from their first matchup against Texas Tech. They're going to make adjustments. And this game is going to be very, very close this time. BYU knows what they need to do. With a loss, they're probably eliminated from college football playoff contention. With a win, they're in. I think even if Texas Tech loses this game, they are still in. Now, in terms of hosting a playoff game, I'm not sure. But, there's less margin for error for Texas Tech than it is for BYU. And I just think that this game will mean more to BYU for real. So 12.5, I think it's a lot of points, like say, especially on a neutral field. So yeah, I'll take BYU in the 12.5. I might even sprinkle a little bit on BYU to get the outright win here. Because like I said, I just think that they're going to do a lot of things differently. And, like I said, it's not like BYU played terrible in that game. I mean, they really didn't. It's just Texas Tech just caught them at the right time. BYU just had a really bad day. BYU's a better team than that. They will show that. So yeah, give me the 12.5 with BYU. In terms of the total here, I have no flipping idea. If I had to lean one, I'd probably lean the under 50.5 because I do think both of these defenses are that good, especially Texas Tech's. My God. But I do think BYU's defense can give Baron Morton some issues. I think they'll blitz him a lot more too, because Baron Morton, he's really not a runner to me. So like he's more of a pocket QB, and I think that's what he wants to be. I don't really think he likes being on the move. So I think BYU will probably blitz him a lot more. So yeah, if I had to pick one, I'd lean the under. But yeah, give me BYU on the 12.5.
Yeah, I mean I think the under is probably the play I would lean, but it's also a risk is that this Texas Tech offense can score
Yeah,
very quickly. So I could see them getting in the 40s in this game if things go their way. If BYU maybe is a little bit of aggressive, maybe Texas Tech gets some short field opportunities, and you don't really want to do
yep.
that for Texas Tech. So if BYU plays, I don't want BYU to play aggressive in this game. They need to take points when they're available, and punt it when they need to,
They
depending on
need
how
to
the
slow
game's
it
going.
down. They need to slow it down. You do not want to play Texas Tech game. You do not get in a shootout with them. That is not BYU football. BYU football is slow, methodical, grinded out games. Take what they give you, and it's not a hurry up offense. Texas Tech, literally, run and gun, straight flame, straight fast. They want to score as fast as possible, and they want to go tick for tack. That's not BYU's game. If they end up going tick for tack, BYU's going to get blown out again. If they slow it down and this game is being played at the pace that BYU wants it to be played at, which is a lot slower, I think BYU has a chance to win the game outright.
Bear Bachmeyer, he's going to have to make some plays in this game. He didn't make any plays in that first game. That was really the reason why they fell behind by so many points. Bear Bachmeyer wasn't able to make the big plays when they needed him. He's had a lot of time to reflect, and he gets another opportunity here against the same team in the Big 12 championship game. So I think Bear Bachmeyer has a better game, but I do think Texas Tech is able to pull it out here. But if BYU wants to have a chance to stay in this game, they got to play some defense. They got to run the ball effectively. And if they do that, they're going to cover this spread and have a chance to pull off this win here and make it to the playoffs. So very exciting game. I think it's going to be a lot better than the game that we watched a couple weeks ago. It should be a lot more competitive here in the Big 12 championship game. So let's go ahead and move on to the next game up here. It's the MAC championship. Miami, Ohio, taking on Western Michigan here. This game is being played in Ford Field, Detroit, Michigan. Western Michigan is favored by 2.5 points right now. Total 43.5, 12 p.m. Eastern. These are two teams right now that really love to run the ball. I mean, I watched a good amount of MAC. I watched a good amount of MAC action this year. But the one difference that I see here is Miami, Ohio. They're not going to have their star quarterback for this game, DeQuan Finn. Yep. He's missed the last 2 or 3 games of the season, which I thought Miami, Ohio wasn't even going to have a chance to make it to the MAC championship game because of that. So they started Henry Hessen for one game after DeQuan Finn got hurt, and they lost 24-3 to I can't remember who they played, but they got spanked by Toledo. I think it was Toledo that ended up slamming them with Henry Hessen at quarterback. So they decided to start a true freshman in Gultowski. And ever since I started him, Miami, Ohio has been looking like the regular Miami, Ohio team for the whole season. They've won 2 in a row. He's been playing some really good, a lot better football than Henry Hessen. That Henry Hessen guy was absolutely terrible in the games that I've watched him. The one game that I watched him play, he was absolutely terrible. So, yeah, definitely I could see why they started the true freshman behind him in Gutowski. But you're playing Western Michigan here. Man, they just look like a stronger team here in this spot just because I like Brock Lowry. I like Jaden Buckley. They're a 1-2 punch, quarterback, running back. They're going to run the ball a ton. Clock's going to be moving in this game a ton as well because Miami, Ohio also has a solid running back in Jordan Brunson. 43.5. I like the under here. My projection for this game, I have Western Michigan winning 17-16. So I do like Western Michigan to win this game. If you want to take them minus 2.5, I don't hate that as if you want to do that. because again, I just think they're going to come out here and have success against Miami Ohio's defense. Now Miami Ohio's defense is a little bit better, a little bit stronger than Western Michigan's, but they're both pretty strong. I just like Western Michigan. I just think them having like the normal quarterback running back duo, rather than Miami Ohio is going to have a true freshman at quarterback. I just think Western Michigan's going to be able to have better success and win the game. But I do think under 43.5 is the play I'll take personally from this game, just because both these teams are going to be running the ball a ton. And I just don't know if they're going to be able to score a lot of points. So give me the under 43.5 here for the MAC championship game. DeShawn, what do you have here?
Man, I have absolutely nothing for this game. Holy crap. I have not watched pretty much no action all year. Yikes. So yeah, I'll be quick with this one. Like I said, two strong defenses, two teams that like to run the ball. Under. Simple as that. I mean,
Yep.
I don't know anything about these teams. I don't even think I've even bet a single MAC game this year. Holy cow. So yeah, whatever you like, if your projection has it going that under, so yeah, I'll be on the under 43.5. There you go.
100%. Yeah, the MAC. I mean, there's some regulation out there. Western Michigan could get into the playoffs. I don't know what kind of craziness needs to happen for that to happen, but we'll see how that turns out. But yeah, Western Michigan should be able to win this game. Again, low scoring. It should be an exciting game down to the finish, though. So yeah, give me Western Michigan here to win the game and the under 43.5 for the better projection with the total. So let's go and move on to the next game up here. Here we go. SEC championship game. Number 10, Alabama, taking on number 4, Georgia. Mercedes-Benz Stadium, Atlanta, Georgia. Georgia's favored by 2.5 points, 47.5 point total. Man, this game, I just expect both these teams here to come out here. It's really like a rivalry type of game anyway. Yep. They're going to go out there and play like it means everything. I don't know how it'll work out if Alabama loses this game. Do they still get into the playoffs? I would assume they would. We'll see what happens there. But, yeah, Alabama just snuck by Auburn a couple days ago in a game that was kind of crazy. They actually probably should have lost that game. Pretty bold decision there by Caden DeBoer to go for that 4th and 2 there. Absolute wild decision, but it ended up working out for him. And sometimes you got to make those type of decisions if you want to win games. Doing that on the road, I just think Alabama's going to have a lot of juice coming off that win. Georgia, I mean, they've been looking strong as well. I mean, my projections have this game being 22-21, Alabama winning. So if you want to take the under 47.5, I wouldn't hate it. I think both these defenses can come out here and play strong. But I would probably take Alabama plus 2.5 right now. But this game really is truly a pick-em game. It's really hard to gauge what's going to happen. I just think Alabama, coming off that emotional win, I think Georgia's due to lose one of these games at some point. But Georgia has been looking really strong as of late. So it's going to be a very exciting game. I think this game comes down to the last play. Maybe whoever has the ball last will win this game. So give me Alabama here, plus the 2.5 or money line or the under total 47.5 here in this one. DeShawn, what do you have here?
Yeah, I mean, this is just rinse and repeat for me. Give me Alabama to outright win the game. There's one game that Alabama will absolutely always wake up for and absolutely sweat their underwear. And it's this game right here playing against Georgia. For some odd reason, Alabama just has their number. And until I see otherwise, I'm going to keep on betting Alabama. I love that I can get plus money with them right here. I love that they're underdogs. Kalen DeBoer is one of those coaches to where he's going to be up for this game for sure. He will definitely be up for this game. With Georgia, like I said, Georgia has been really, really hot as of late. But like I said, every time they play Alabama, for some odd reason, I do not know why, they don't play as good. They just don't. But I need to see more from Alabama's receivers. Ryan Williams, where you at, bro? Where are you? It can't just be a Isaiah Horn show all day. Can't just be a Bernard show all day. Bama damn show can't run the ball. So if Bama wants to win this game, something's going to have to give. Something is going to have to give. If you pressure Ty Simpson, he is liable to make mistakes. He will throw that ball to you for sure. Same thing with Gunnar Stockton. I'm not too in love with him either. I'm not the biggest fan of him. I honestly think I don't really think he's that good, honestly. I mean, sure, he's made some impressive throws. I'll give him that. Sure, he's been playing pretty well, but in my opinion, he's not that good, honestly. So I think Alabama can get the better of him here. I don't know if this is an elimination game for Bama, just because I don't think that the committee will penalize them for losing this game, even though they'll have 3 losses. And, I feel like some of these other teams should maybe get a shot. It's always good not having Bama in the playoffs just because, they've been winning so much. Same thing with Georgia. But I just think, like I said, this game means more to Bama. I think Georgia's securely in. Bama will come into this game. Honestly, I wouldn't mind an alt line with Bama minus 2.5. So, yeah, give me Bama all day.
Yeah, we'll see what the committee does here to Alabama if they do lose this game. After last year's, controversy in the playoffs, with SMU getting in over Alabama, it's kind of the same situation Alabama's in this year with them being like the 10 seed. SMU lost their conference championship game last year, but they were still able to get in the playoffs, even though they did play that extra game and lose over Alabama. So Alabama fans are going to be very upset. There's probably riots going on if they get left out of the playoffs if they lose this game. I do think Alabama gets in, depending on how bad they play. If they get absolutely slammed here, maybe who knows? Maybe they get left out. But I think Alabama is going to make the playoffs either way here. Another thing to look forward to, like you talked about the running game for Alabama, Jam Miller, he got hurt in that Auburn game. He didn't return in that second half. So that's going to be a huge loss for Alabama if he's not able to go. Daniel Hill will be the backup. And he actually looked okay, Daniel Hill, in those couple runs. So he's got to step up big time if Jam Miller is not available for this game. So, yeah, I mean, Alabama, Ty Simpson's going to have to make plays. I think Georgia is going to be able to get pressure on him, but I don't love Georgia's passing defense. So I do think Simpson will have success making plays. So I think Bama is going to be live here to play a very strong game and pull this one out here. Maybe with a game-winning field goal. Maybe that has a type of feel here. Alabama, game-winning drive. Ty Simpson leads the team down there, gets the game-winning field goal, beats Georgia in the SEC championship. That's my kind of prediction there. I'm giving you all a very specific prediction of what's going to happen. Ty Simpson, game-winning drive for Alabama to win this game. So that's the SEC championship game. Let's go ahead and move on to the next one up here. Here we go. Big Ten championship. Number 2, Indiana, taking on number 1, Ohio State. It's in Lucas Oil Stadium in Indianapolis, Indiana. Ohio State's 4.5-point favorites as of right now. 48.5-point total. 8 p.m. Eastern, Saturday night. Man, this has like the biggest conference championship feel that I could ever remember for a conference championship game. You got often here to get number 1 versus number 2 in a conference championship game, with them both being undefeated in the conference. So it's kind of crazy. Man, this is going to be an absolute fire game to watch. I mean, you talk about these have been like the 2 like consistent teams all year. They just get it done. They beat teams who are supposed to beat. They blow out the teams they're supposed to blow out. Now there's only one thing left to settle here. They're going head-to-head in the championship game. Maybe a little bit of a preview for the national championship game here later on in this year. But in terms of this game, Indiana, man, they really get it done on both sides of the ball. I mean, their defense has been very impressive this year. They got dudes on that side of the ball. And, of course, offensively, start with Fernando Mendoza, who's probably going to be the Heisman winner this year. Roman Henby, Kalen Black, very good 1-2 running back duo. You got Elijah Surratt, Omar Cooper, who made that insane catch against Penn State. Man, they got dudes on that offense that can make plays. And then you look at the Ohio State side of the ball. Their offense, I would say, is probably better than Indiana's by just a little bit. Just because they got Jeremiah Smith out there. Jeremiah Smith is the best player in the country. I mean, Cardinal Tate, as well, very strong. They're both going to be, I think, first-round draft picks in next year's draft. Um, and then you got Julian Sayin, who's also been in the Heisman discussion as well. Um, very impressive true freshman Sayin. So, yeah, they got the running backs is really the question when you think about Ohio State. James Peebles, Bo Jackson, C.J. Donaldson. Um, but Bo Jackson has been looking really, really impressive
Yep.
over his last few games. If you watched that Ohio State Michigan game last week, specifically that second half, when Ohio State got up by double digits, 2 scores, what did Ohio State do? We're going to go out there and bully Michigan for the rest of this game. So they ran for the final, I believe, like 25 plays of the game. I think 22 of them were run plays. Yeah, they were just gashing Michigan on the ground. And that's crazy because Michigan, you
Yep.
think, has a very strong rushing defense, and they're usually very physical. No, Ohio State made them look like babies out there on their home field. Just absolutely abused them. I mean, Bo Jackson, he was making some huge run plays. I was very impressed. I think they got another stud running back in Bo Jackson. He's looking very strong. Yeah, I just think it's the spot here. You're playing Indiana. Indiana's going to travel well. I think Indiana's going to have a lot of fans there.
Yep.
I do think it's a little bit of a 60-40 Indiana fan section for this game. I like Indiana to win this game. I really do. I do think the way Mendoza can keep his team in the game, Indiana's not going to be blown out in this game. It's just not going to happen. They're going to be in the game. They're going to play physical. They can play either type of game style, I feel like. So Ohio State, I just feel like their defense hasn't really been tested yet this year. They played a lot of like mid offensive teams this year. They haven't played any like explosive teams. Ohio State's going to play their first explosive team on offense this year in Indiana. We're going to see what happens. I think Indiana is able to score. I got them around 26 points right now. So I think the over could be a play, but I think giving Indiana plus 4.5 right now is a lot for this kind of game. This game just feels like whoever has the ball last is going to win. I think that's what's going to be the case. Whoever has the ball last in this game will win. I really do love this Indiana team, but I mean, it's hard to hate on what Ohio State has over there as well. So these are two really, really good teams, two really, really good coaches. It's going to be a freaking fantastic game to watch, 100%. All eyes will be on this game here. So give me Indiana plus 4.5 or the money line, or take the under 40.5. I feel like it could be a little bit of a defensive game, but yeah, that's my leans and predictions there. DeShawn, what do you have for this one?
Yeah, I will not have any money on this game whatsoever, but I will definitely be tuning into this game for sure. This is probably the best conference championship game of the weekend by far, in my opinion. Like you said, Ohio State, they really haven't been tested like that. Michigan, they don't have a passing offense. That offense was abysmal. Get them out of here. Washington, that offense was abysmal. Get them out of here. Even though they had to play, Washington in Seattle, just Washington's offense just isn't good enough. Indiana, on the other hand, and I'm gonna give them credit, they beat my Ducks in Autzen Stadium, and that's no easy thing to do. Ask Ohio State last year; they couldn't do it, and they ended up winning the national championship, but they couldn't beat us in Autzen, even though they messed us up in the Rose Bowl. But Indiana has a very, very strong team here. That defense is definitely for real. But them Ohio State receivers, man, I don't care who you got, who you have. I don't care. They get open, man. Jeremiah Smith, Carnell Tate, Brandon Ennis, like I said, Bo Jackson. My God. Can we say complete offense on three? Holy. I mean, it's just that good. But so is Indiana's. They are that good as well. But this game just screams Ohio State. It just does. This just feels like, all the anticipation is building up. A lot of people are going to be riding Indiana here, and Ohio State's going to win this by 10 points. It it's just giving me those vibes. It really is. And this is no knock to Indiana. Indiana is a great team. I just don't think that I just don't think this is a good spot for them right here. I know it's being played in Indianapolis, but this I don't think Ohio State blows them out. I think at worst Ohio State wins this game by 2 touchdowns. But like I said, this is just screaming one of those spots where a lot of people are going to be on Indiana. I'll be surprised. Like, honestly, I think this line closes at like Ohio State minus 2.5. Honestly, if I'm being for real, I think a lot of people are going to be on Indiana money line. Indiana plus a 4.5 so it's well over a field goal. And Ohio State's just going to come out there and just going to flex their muscle here. I just have that feeling right here. That's exactly why I'm not betting it, because I want to be on Indiana. I want to be on Indiana money line because I just can't stand Ohio State. I really can't. And I'm a big Kurt Cignetti fan. But my heart is telling me different. So this is just a complete stay away from me.
Yeah, 100%. I don't disagree with you. After you were on Michigan last week against Ohio State.
Yeah.
They're
usually the ones that can. Michigan is the team that's built to beat Ohio State, especially in physicality. They lock up Jeremiah Smith. They lock up Carnell Tate. They were doing that for a little bit, but then all of a sudden they were not. And they were just getting their boots toasted every down. They were getting gashed on the ground. Like, that's just something that's just not supposed to happen, especially in Ann Arbor and especially in those weather conditions. Now you're getting better conditions. I just can't do it. But I'll watch it. I'll be a fan. I will not have no money on it.
Yeah, I mean, Michigan just isn't a good football team anyway. I mean, they haven't beat anybody good. I mean, the 2 teams that they played that aren't good, like Oklahoma, USC, they lost both of those games pretty handily in those games. So Michigan just seems like the team that doesn't play good against elite competition this year. But again, yeah, they played Ohio State very tough. I think the last time Ohio State beat Michigan was before COVID. So I think they won 6 in a row against Ohio State. Michigan just has a very good play style against Ohio State with that physicality. They didn't have it. They didn't have it last Saturday against Ohio State. As you saw in that second half, the way they just got absolutely obliterated up front. And Bo Jackson was just having a field day there in the backfield. So it's going to be interesting to see how this game plays out here. I do think Ohio State, they just seem to always able to win these type of games. I can't remember Ohio State ever losing a Big Ten championship game in recent history. So every time Ohio State gets to the Big Ten championship, they usually always end up winning it. So in Indiana, it's the first time being here in program history. So we'll see what happens here, but it's going to be a fantastic game to watch. So let's go ahead and close.
Ohio State didn't make the Big Ten championship game last year. So I think they'll be very, very excited to get back to it. Indiana, I can't even tell you the last time they even went to the Big Ten championship game. If
they
ever.
haven't. This is their first time.
If ever. So, Ohio State, like I said, especially missing it out because last year was, Oregon, Penn State, and we already know how that went. I won't speak on that. But, yeah, so I think Ohio State will be very excited to get back.
Hey, that game could actually be similar to what happens in this game, 42-37, high scoring. 2 teams that are supposed to be like pretty good defenders, they don't show up. They score points. Yeah, I mean, Penn State, that game last year, not gonna talk about it too long, but
should have been a blowout.
Drew Aller had to throw that pick there that really ended up being the difference of that game. If it wasn't for that pick, it would have been a one really tie game throughout the whole way.
That game should have been a blowout. That game was not close. We were up double digits at one point in that game. Like, that game should not have been that close.
It's kind of like how the game turned out this year in Happy Valley. Oregon was on the way to blow it out, and then 2 hours in to make some plays. So, yeah, it's gonna be a fun game to watch, though. Indiana, Ohio State, tune in. One of the best games, probably. I would say this is a preview of the national championship here. I think both these teams can get there. So we'll see what happens here in this one, and a little bit of an appetizer for the what we're going to see in the playoffs. So let's go ahead and move on to the last game up here. Here we go. Big implications on this game. ACC championship. Duke taking on number 18 Virginia. Bank of America Stadium in Charlotte, North Carolina. Virginia's 3.5-point favorites. 57.5-point total. And one thing that's standing out right away is, man, I'd probably say Virginia minus 3.5. I mean, I think this is going to be tight. I really do. It's going to be tight. I think Manny Diaz, he's going to come in here pretty inspired, getting a shot to win the ACC championship. I don't think Duke gets to the playoffs, so if they win this game. So, but they could definitely spoil Virginia's chances of getting there. And the ACC might get 0 teams in the playoffs, and that would be hilarious. So, as much as I love Virginia, I would love to see Duke win this game. I actually would. I like Manny Diaz, former Penn State coordinator, our best defensive coordinator that we've ever had. Loved Manny Diaz when he was there. So I do love Virginia, though. Hell of a story they've had. I think points are going to be scored here, so Virginia's going to have to score to win this game. Darian Mensah, Duke's quarterback, very good. He's able to make plays. Virginia, Chandler Morris, also a hell of a playmaker. So it's going to be a good game to watch as well. I think Duke keeps it close, but I do think Virginia's able to find a way to win this game. So right now, give me Virginia minus 3.5 or take the over 57.5. My projections have this game being Virginia 32, Duke 28. So right now, give me Virginia minus 3.5 as of right now. So what do you have for this one, DeShawn?
Yeah, I probably lean the same way. Virginia minus 3.5. This game pretty much going to be played in Duke's backyard. Honestly, this is damn near a home game for Duke. But I honestly don't think that matters. I am a big fan of Darian Mensah. I do think he is very, very good. I wouldn't be surprised if you see him transfer if he can. If he goes to the draft, who knows? But I think he's a very good quarterback, very, very underrated. This game is big because, you'll have a lot of JMU fans rooting for Duke in this game. If Duke pulls this game out, I think JMU's in the playoff, honestly. I really, really do. They're obviously not going to put Duke in, especially with the losses that they have. I mean, honestly, if Duke was, 10-2 right now or 11-1, with Duke's resume, I think they'd probably be close to like where Miami is, honestly, because they played some decent teams, especially in the non-con. I mean, they beat Tulane. They lost to UConn, but that would have been another good win because UConn's pretty good, and UConn's quarterback is actually very, very good. I'm very, very high on what's his name, Fagiano. I don't know, but yeah, give me Virginia minus 3.5. I just think they have too much offense. Duke's defense, I feel like it should be better. I feel like they have severely underperformed this year. But Virginia, I just don't think it ends here for them. Yeah, I think it'll end in the first round, but I do think they do win the ACC championship this year. I think they just have too much. These two teams actually matched up not too long ago, and I'm pretty sure UVA won that game by like 17 points. So I think this game is much closer, but I still think Virginia can win this game by about like 10. So yeah, I'll take Virginia in the 3.5.
Yeah, about Duke's home field advantage, kind of surprising. I mean, I was watching some of their games this year at home that were pretty big games, and they had like half the stadium empty, which was insane. So I don't know if the fans are going to show up for this game. I would assume some of them would because it's a championship game. But I do think Virginia travels well too. It's not that far away from Virginia, so Virginia should have a pretty good showing down there. So yeah, I think Virginia, they're just having a miracle season. Nobody expect them to be in this situation. Just with how their program has been over the last, couple of years, they've really just been like a bottom dweller in the ACC. Now they're on the top, and they can complete this story with an ACC championship here today. And we'll see what kind of matchup they get in the playoffs. I'm hoping they can get like an Oklahoma. I think that's probably the best matchup they can get because I feel
Yeah.
like that's a good matchup for Virginia because they don't have to really score a lot of points to win that game. They just have to be in it, and I think that's a great game for them to get. But if they play against any of these other like shootout teams, they're not going to be able to fare well. So, but I do think Virginia here is able to come out here and win this game. I do think Duke's able to keep it close. So, yeah, it's going to be a fun one to watch. Playoff implications on the line. Man, if Duke wins this game, we're going to have
Oh,
absolute chaos going on here with the committee. Um, so, yeah, there's going to be all eyes on this game, really, for all those group of 5 teams out there.
yeah.
So that brings like North Texas, Tulane, JMU all in that mix. Western Michigan. So we'll see. We'll see. We'll see. Or UNLV. I like to see UNLV get a shot. I mean, I think
Yeah.
UNLV is a pretty fun team to watch. If they get in the playoffs, they're a kind of similar team to North Texas. They're going to score a lot of points, no defense. So there's some interesting group of 5 teams this year that could definitely be some sleepers in the playoffs. Unlike last year's teams like Boise State. I mean, Boise State last year, they're really just like a pounded team with the run. They didn't really have any explosive playmakers outside of Genty. With these group of 5 teams this year, or Texas, they have studs on that offense, so they're going to be able to cause problems for anybody they play. Um, Although their defense is going to make some plays if they want to win those types of games. But yeah, same with UNLV. They got playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. So group of 5, I don't know how these brackets are going to shake out, but I wouldn't be surprised if I have at least one of these group of 5 teams winning a game in the playoffs. So we'll see how the matchups end up shaking out. So yeah, that's the college championship video, guys. Lots of great games here today. Not today, a few days from now, but could be some great games to watch for sure. Big playoff implications on the line. Really, we're getting down to the final week of college football. So before we get into the bowl games, again, I have the free Marky Picks bowl pick'em group. Link will be down in the description below. I'll be teasing every video from here on out, so you guys have plenty of time to get in there and get in that group and have a chance to win those NBA projections. But yeah, I mean that's it for this one. DeShawn, you have anything before we get out here?
Yeah, I mean, it's been a very, very fast college football season. It feels like college football had just started, and now all of a sudden it's conference championship weekend. And it truly went by very, very fast. We had some ups, we had some downs. But who doesn't love, college football? So yeah, these games will be very, very good. I can't bet the ACC championship game anyway because I live in Virginia, so I can't bet
Yeah,
it regardless. But I would love to see Virginia win it, but at the same time, I would also like chaos, and I would love to see JMU in the playoff as like a 11 seed, so 11 or 12 seed. So that I feel like that would be pretty crazy, but yeah, I think these games will be very, very good. I can't wait for the playoffs, and you will eventually see the Oregon Ducks as your national champion.
yeah. We'll be breaking down all the bowl games on the next video, so it's gonna be a really long video. Me and DeShawn are gonna be in for next time up here. We're gonna be breaking down all the bowl games and the playoffs. So don't miss that video. We're gonna do every single pick and make our picks there and pick our national champion. See what happens. So we'll find out what the bracket looks like at the end of this weekend. All the bowl games will get announced on the Sunday, so we'll have all the rest of the college football matchups for the rest of this year. Again, college football, it's the fastest season in sports. It just sucks. It's my favorite sport to watch, so it sucks when college football just it comes and then it goes really quick. So yeah, but I mean, this is kind of like the best time of the year, really, for college football. This time of year, so get down to championships, games on the line, big moments, history's made. We're gonna see what happens. We're in for a fantastic weekend. So that's it for this one, guys. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.